as a means to further my climbing journey, not just as purely a physical one, but as also a creative one. I went to every climbing gym in Mexico City.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. and she's out there in a sheer white dress, wearing last night's makeup, all coquettish in the pictures with the flash on. Worships Lana Del Rey in her AirPods. Yeah, she's...
There are 12 climbing gyms in the city. In this video, we'll be ranking them each one by one, purely on how much I liked them. Then, at the very end, we'll go ahead and give a quick synopsis. This is a bouldering-centered ranking. First up, Loop Climbing Center.
This one's for all my bad girls. This one's for all my break your boyfriend's heart girls. For all my tearing shit apart girls. This one's for all my...
The gym cost me 200 pesos for a day pass, which is around $10 US. I found the setting in general to be quite dynamic, consisting of many big move routes. The gym itself was pretty big and even had a pretty solid weight area too, which was really nice. What made this gym unique compared to a lot of others that you'll see in this ranking is that this gym has competition boulders, although I'm not even close to good enough for this style. One day though. As far as some cons, I found the gym to be quite dirty. I just found the walls and holds were quite marked up. My legs were slightly covered in dust by the end of it. Moreover, I feel like the gym could use more boulders than there are. The walls feel a tad bit empty almost, like kind of spaced out. This might just be me like nitpicking, because also I understand the opposite problem where like maybe there's too many boulders within a given amount of wall space, but that's just how I felt in this case. Last thing, I was basically all alone at this gym. There was literally no one else in the gym. Partially my fault because I came around noon on a Monday. But even so, I guess I was surprised to not see a single other person. I'm feeling a B tier on this one. The next day, I went to Toca. One of the best gyms in Mexico City, hands down. Although I do have some bias by the time I'm writing this because I do have a membership right now. The price for a day pass is 150 pesos, about $8 US. One of the first things you'll notice about the gym is that it's not all that huge, pretty small even, but I find that they do an excellent job with making use of space. They have a lovely training wall, campus board, tons of hang boards, and harnesses, which I love to use for weighted pull-ups. Their grading system is pretty standard, although I would say they're slightly sandbagged. That might be an exaggerative term, but they start to get a little bit harder once you get to around V4. Some V4s for me are impossible as a V5 and V6 climber. The gym features a huge range of styles from balancey problems to crimpy to dynamic. One of the things I love the most about this gym is just how friendly the people are. The setters are friendly and easy to talk to, and the community feels tight-knit. I showed up around 11 on a Tuesday, and there's a good amount of friendly people getting their sessions in, being social, etc. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. Honestly, this gym is an S tier. It's May 14th, and it is my first visit to Rock Solid, possibly my favorite gym in Mexico City.
It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. How do you feel being a girl? How do you feel being a girl? And I don't know, I'm just a girl.
Price of a day pass is 170 pesos, or $9. But they always let me bypass it since they have a student discount, which is really nice. The gym is very big and finds what I believe to be the perfect balance between problem density while avoiding overcrowding. One thing, for example, that this gym is super solid for, well, one, it's pretty ginormous. The gym area, bench press, and it's got a bunch of dumbbells, campus board, moon board. Porque me robaron el teléfono, ya tengo mi cámara. I find the grades to be pretty much on par with my personal assessment of boulder grading, which is based entirely on the Touchstone gyms in the Bay Area. So if you're familiar with them, There you go. I find the setting to be really creative. There was a V5 slab problem that I struggled with for a while. I assumed the solution was to approach the problem slowly and carefully, but my friend decided to do a dynamic ending which worked for him and it eventually worked for me. There seems to be a good amount of these problems where the solution isn't particularly obvious. As frustrating as it may be sometimes, I truly believe that it makes you a better climber. Also, slightly irrelevant, but they have a cafe at the entrance of the gym, and that shit has the best chilaquiles, bro. That shit. Oh. S tier gym. S tier gym. Next is Adamanta Escandon, June 15th. This is where the speedrunning begins.
On the same page. It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl.
This gym is undoubtedly the cleanest and fanciest gym in Mexico City. It's no coincidence, of course, that it's also the most expensive at 290 pesos, close to $16 US. The price is quite high compared to other gyms in Mexico, but I'd say it's well worth it. The setting, I would argue, is some of the best in the city. I couldn't find many other words to use except flowy. What made problems hard wasn't because you had to contort your body, moves felt natural and intuitive, even if they were difficult. They had a pretty sizable training area, complete with hangboards, pull-up bars, and even a moon board, which I'm not sure I'm skilled enough for yet, but it looks cool. They had a variety of high-protein snacks, which is always good, and I know this isn't entirely relevant, but man, the bathroom was nice, bro. I find that the Adamanta has just kind of, I think they have objectively the best bathrooms in the game. It's just facts. It's just facts. Solid, such a quality post-shower workout, I swear. The employees were really friendly and had no trouble recommending food spots after my session. S tier. We wrapped it up after that, we rested on Sunday, then Monday, June 17th, we hit Onyx. Onyx Sala de Escalada. Apparently it's known across CDMX that Onyx is the hardest gym in the city. From first-hand experience, I can say that this is absolutely true. It is sandbagged to no end. I've been able to send a V5 at every single one of the gyms mentioned in this ranking, except for Onyx. And trust me, I tried a lot of problems. Just because the problems are hard, however, doesn't mean the gym is good. The gym cost me 120 pesos, about $6 US, so it's definitely the cheapest gym so far. Everything had a very DIY climbing gym in my shed / house kind of vibe. Which in some ways was quite charming. However, there were a few big issues I had. One is that it was quite dirty and felt a little unkempt. The walls looked quite worn and the building was quite dusty throughout. I wasn't a big fan of the padding, which kind of morphed as you stepped on it, leaving me feeling like I was gonna trip every now and then. At some point, the janitor was cleaning the flooring, which is great, but the fabric for the padding absorbed like all the water, so it left my shoes quite wet after a few attempts at a V5, and honestly kind of discouraged me from continuing.
The floor is like super wet right now, and they're cleaning it.
At some point I almost scratched myself on a nail that was sticking out from a hold and let a setter know about it. He reassured me he'd take care of it, so that was good. The biggest problem of all, however, was just how dark the gym was. It seemed like they relied pretty heavily on outside lighting during the day. I almost couldn't make out the colors on some of the holds and was unsure at times if I was doing the right problem. The problems that I did try were quite fun and the people were really nice, but for me these reasons didn't make up for the problems mentioned above. I'm feeling a D tier on Onyx. After some tacos from a local spot, I headed to Levita. Levita cost me 120 pesos, same price as Onyx, $6 US about. It is by far the smallest gym in Mexico City. It's got just one room of climbing. What you see here on the screen is essentially the entire gym. I was going to be quick to judge, but I ended up really enjoying it. The employees were extremely nice, and it honestly warmed my heart when I saw the manager helping out some first-time climbers with basic technique and safety. Most gyms are quite hands-off, so this was was a pleasant surprise. He even gave me some tips on some problems I was having trouble with as well. Turns out he's been climbing since the 70s, so dude's a legend. I feel the problems were a bit tougher than graded, but not by much, and there were no dynamic problems, which I didn't mind too much, but it's nice to have variety. Overall, good gym. Only thing holding it back is its size and lack of a proper training and a warm-up area. I'm feeling a B tier on this one. Fingers were cooked for the day, and I was ready to just eat some food and chill. Alright, Tuesday, June 18th. First, I hit Rock Solid with the homies. Then, right after, we headed to Casa Boulder. Casa Boulder, I was charged 100 pesos, about $5.50, making this the cheapest climbing gym in Mexico City. A lot of this gym reminded me of Levita in that we had a relatively small gym with a clearly old but wise climbing guru. Like, he's a legend, you know. He had that legendary vibe. Something quite welcoming, something quite holy about this.
360, when you're in the mirror, do you like what you see? When you're in the mirror, you're just looking at me. I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia.
You can tell the gym has existed for some time. All the holds are tagged with tape, so you can clearly keep track of which problem you're doing. And once again, you had a very tight-knit community that honestly made me feel like family, despite only being there for a couple of hours. I'd still like to rank this gym higher than Levita because its bigger size does allow for a greater variety of boulders, spray wall, and a bigger space just generally means more people can climb at the same time. They also gave me some chalk to rent for free, which was great. I was so hyped about this V5/6 send. Okay, so if I had to choose one gym for the community, I would absolutely choose Vemas. I swear, everyone here was super close, super chill. They had no problems like letting me in and engaging with them at all. And I even brought some tortas with me because, you know, I needed like a post-workout snack. And the manager was like kind enough to just let me keep them like in the fridge during my session, which was really, really nice. We at some point chatted for a bit and played around with a device that they had, which like measured the force that you like could pull the edge with. I thought it was pretty cool. It truly did feel more like a hangout than a climbing session. As far as the actual gym goes, I paid 130 pesos for the entrance, which is about $7 US. The boulders themselves were what you would expect. From V0 all the way to V3, and just like Toca, V4 and beyond becomes considerably harder than you would expect for the grade, although I was able to get one V5 send in, which was solid. The gym was quite clean and well kept. S tier. S tier. Same day, I walked the about 30 minutes to hit Arena Boulder, or I guess Arena Boulder. Arena Boulder. Arena Boulder was overall a nice gym. I paid 140 pesos for the entrance, about $7.50. It was pretty nicely medium-sized, not as big as Loop or as Roxolid, but definitely bigger than Levita. The chalk rental was free with your first visit, which was really nice. I would say that the grading was a little soft here. I was practically flashing V5s and sent a V6 after a couple attempts. Then again, there was a V4 that I couldn't do like for the life of me, so it's hard to exactly put a finger on it, but the grades were a little bit inconsistent, I felt. Despite this, I really enjoyed the problems and felt that there was plenty to do in the 3-ish hours I spent here. Plus, I met some friends, which is always a plus. A tier, bruh. A tier. A tier. A tier. Alright, I had to wrap up the day after this one. My fingers were getting absolutely decimated. I needed a rest day on Thursday. Friday, I climbed with the homies. And finally, Saturday, 22nd, I hit Ascendum. My visit to Ascendum was quite a short one since it was a Saturday evening when they close a little bit early. I paid 130 pesos for a day pass, which is about $7 US. They have 2 floors of bouldering and even some rope climbing, which I thought was really cool. Although I didn't try it. I was there for a limited amount of time, so I wanted to fully engage with the bouldering, basically. The gym also featured a top out on the bottom floor, which again is quite rare at the gyms here. I thought that the setting was just right at lower grades, but opposite to gyms like Vemas and Toca, they get a little soft when you move up to V4 and above. Like for example, I got a few moves-ish on this V7, and I've never been able to even touch a V7 in my life. They had a little break area, which I thought was quite cute too. Out of all the gyms, this was the only one that didn't have free water refills, which only meant I had to pay 20 pesos for a bottle of water, but still not ideal, I suppose. Overall though, great experience. The workers let me use their tripod at some point. Alright, they have a tripod here. They said I could use it. And one even gave me a ride on his motorcycle to the next gym on this list. Quality people, quality gym, quality A tier. Okay, thanks to the desk staff, I was able to get to Axo Climb soon after the session. The price of Axo was 200 pesos, which is a little higher on the list, it's about $10 US. What was interesting about this gym was that it featured the most floors out of any gym on this list. 3 floors in total. Now, the floors were not very large, so it certainly was not the biggest gym on this list, but still fairly big nonetheless. I wasn't in the gym for very long, close to about 2 hours, but in that time I managed to almost clear the 3rd floor. In part, I think this was because the gym was quite soft. I would argue that Axo is the softest gym in Mexico City. I will say it definitely feels quite a bit soft considering I did a V6 back there. For reference, I've never done anything above a V6, yet I was able to nearly flash one here, along with everything that was graded lower. It was a shame that I didn't notice anything graded V7 or above, because who knows, maybe this would have been the day that we broke the V6 threshold. Another thing too that it's not a big deal, but like the top floor, the padding was like absolutely breaking apart. It was also a little bit dark too, pretty dark in the gym. Kind of reminiscent of Onyx a little bit. I would say not as bad as Onyx, but not ideal. At the end of my session, I ordered a panini with extra chicken, and they certainly did not give me my extra chicken. Your boy needed his protein. That's not gonna affect the, maybe a little bit. C tier is good placement here. After this, I had no choice. I mean, I was tired anyway, but all the gyms were closed at this point. Next day, I climbed with the homies again. Monday called for a rest. Tuesday, I climbed with the homies again. And finally, Wednesday, June 26th, we hit the last and final gym in CDMX.
Everything I need, I got more than I want. 200 milligrams, I'm about to touch God. Fans worship it, I don't wanna be God. Most days I don't really wanna be on. Oh yeah, slumped over my tired shoulder. Uphill battle, pushing up another boulder. In the green room, breaking down another boulder. Before I land, I'm plugged in and placed in an order.
So the gym cost me 270 pesos, but just like Adamanta Escandon, it was really clean and the setting was impeccable. I would argue that Adamanta gyms have the best setting in the city. It's accurate, diverse, creative, and there's just something so intuitive and fluid about how your body moves through each of the problems. I can definitely appreciate problems that force you to think hard about each and every move, but there's something beautiful about problems that just piece together really well like these. The employees are nice, the gym has cool stuff, and I was able to get my weighted pull-ups in as well. I had a great time, honestly. The only thing stopping this from an S tier is the fact that it was quite a bit smaller than the Escandon location at almost the same price. So, A tier. Solid gym. Had a lot of fun there, actually. So yeah, in Mexico City, there are no E tier gyms, there are no F tier gyms. Just a reminder that all my ratings are completely subjective, and they in some ways could have been affected by variables such as the people I encountered, the setting that happened to be there at the time, etc. My point is, you very well may have a completely different experience at each and every one of these gyms. I just thought this video could be a good reference point, and I thought this would be fun to make too. Overall, Mexico City has some of the best gyms that I've ever been to. I will certainly miss them when I come back home. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's because of the quality of these plastic molded holds or the foam landings, and how much of it really is because of the bonds and the laughs that were shared within each and every one of these walls. Hopefully, memories will soon be made here in Mexico on the rocks beyond these walls. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I just want to say thanks for all the support on my last video. It's absolutely insane, and it's making me feel a little soft spot in my heart. This YouTube thing has been a big dream of mine ever since I was a kid, so it brings me this feeling that, like, you know, this dream is possible. Just that aspect, just having that thought in and of itself is really beautiful and fills me with joy. So I don't know, I just want to say thank you guys for watching my stuff. I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot. Okay, that's all I got. I'm tired. See y'all on the next one.
I got everything I need, I got more than I want. 200 milligrams, I'm about to touch God. Fans worship it, I don't wanna be God. Most days I don't